What's up guys, Jake here, and today I kind of want to talk a little bit about what I think is going to happen with EVH gear in the coming months. The reason for this video is since Eddie's passing, I've gotten countless emails, messages, comments asking how the hell do I get a good deal on an EVH guitar right now. So today I kind of want to look at the new EVH line that was just released and also talk about some of the old stuff, the Peavey stuff, the Charvel stuff, of course the Music Man stuff, and what I expect to happen to the value of that stuff as the months go on. So I want to start with EVH just released a whole new line of guitars this year. I was half expecting them to skip the new release because of Eddie's death. However, they didn't. If you look here, they have all kinds of cool stuff coming out, including the new 5150 series, which isn't new, it was released a few years ago, but the new colors, they have kill switches, and they're doing a stealth one. And they're doing all new finishes like they do every year. What does this mean? This means that EVH gear is shipping soon. Most dealers are thinking February. So stop paying the scalpers on Reverb. Stop paying $2,000 for a Mexican-made Wolfgang. Stop doing that. Because once stuff starts shipping again, the Fender stuff is going to go right back to used value. You know, you'll be able to pick up a special for $700-800. You'll be able to pick up a standard for $300, $400, $500 depending on the color and what year. It's just gonna happen, especially the Stripe Series Frankie. Don't pay scalpers $2,500 for one of these right now. It's making me sick. I also do want to say, we're gonna hop onto Reverb in a minute. I'm trying not to hurt anybody's feelings. These are just my honest thoughts right now. So we're thinking February for EVH gear to start shipping again. That means they're gonna start making the old models, they're gonna start making the new models, and the scalpers, well, they're gonna have no choice but to sell it at used value. So you'll probably be able to get a deal if you wait a month or two. So let's hop over to Reverb right now. Just type in EVH and kind of see what's out there. Now I'm a bit of a nerd. Probably the first thing I do every morning is type in EVH and sort from most recent first. So kind of want to talk about what these models are and if they're worth what they're listed on Reverb right now. So let's just start with the Stripe Series. These guitars are $1,000 new for the red and black and white one. I've seen people list these for $1,200-1,300 and they're gone like that. I just don't get it. You know, it's a guitar that's going to be produced again if you wait a few months. You know, it's not worth paying a few $100 upcharge and letting this person make money off of taking advantage of someone's death. I'm seeing a lot of old Peavey heads being posted. Block letter and script. This is a script one for $12.99. It's a little high, it's not crazy. I'm seeing some block letters and scripts going for above $2. One thing to remember is these are absolutely mass-produced amps because they were so damn popular. There's no sense in paying that kind of money. Now, I do think the Peavey stuff's always going to hold slight premium now that Eddie's passed and they haven't been making this stuff for years, but I don't think it'll be uncommon for you to pick up this stuff under $1,000 in the next 6 months or so. This stuff here kind of makes me a little mad, gets under my skin. This is a EVH Wolfgang Standard. If you don't know, that's the cheapest Wolfgang in the line. They retail new anywhere from $400, $500, $600 depending on what sales they're running and what color. I do think the amber ones maybe sell for a little bit higher, but $1,000 with shipping? No. For one, they've modded it, meaning they took out the tone pot. I don't know, it seemed kind of silly, but it's a standard. Usually the specials, which are the higher end ones that are made in Mexico, are $1,000. These are made in Indonesia. You can usually pick these up a dime a dozen. They have a Floyd Rose special trim. There we go. A Floyd Rose special, you can see right there. That's for the 5th time in the last 10 seconds, Floyd Rose special. It's a cheap trim. I mean, you still get the same pickups as the specials. You get the Wolfgang humbuckers, the same low friction and high friction pots, but they're made in Indonesia. You get the cheaper hardware and not as nice tops. $1,000? No, you're gonna be able to pick these up used in a few months for that same $300, $400, $500 used range. Don't pay that upcharge. This brings us on to the Petals. This one makes me really mad. Not mad, just gets under my skin. $269 plus 15 shipping. These Petals new are $200. Why would you pay that for a used one without any of the packaging? I just don't understand. These are going to be produced by MXR for years to come. They're so popular. I mean, the man that ran this company just died. For a lack of better terms, there's a lot of paperwork they have to figure out to get Wolfgang in charge of the company. So of course the stuff's gonna be backordered for a while, but they're gonna make this stuff again. Why would you pay a scalper these prices? So now I want to talk a little bit about the Peavey models. Obviously these haven't been made since 2004 or 5-ish. I could be off in the year. I can't think right now. But some people are asking just crazy amounts for these. Now here, this purple one's actually a pretty good deal. I haven't read if it has the case yet. It has a Music Man padded bag. It doesn't have the original case. I think this is the specials. So there's 3 lines in the Peavey's, main ones. I mean, there's some custom shop stuff. There's the EXPs that were made in Korea. There is the special USAs, which were made in USA with just plain tops, solid colors. And then there were the standard USAs, which had flame tops, tone pot, nicer pickups, nicer hardware, the whole 9 yards. So this is the mid-range one, probably the most popular. Those have always fetched anywhere from $800 to $1,200 depending on color and condition. You can always tell these apart from the EXPs or the higher end ones by the Eddie Van Halen signature on the back. If it doesn't have a signature or it has a printed signature, it's an EXP. If it has an engraved signature, it's a USA. So this guy's not too crazy. I think if I had the case, he could have a much better shot at getting, $1,000 for this, but it's pretty beat up when you look at it. I think he's got his hopes a little high, but these are gonna always fetch a premium. I think for the special USAs, you're probably always gonna be looking at about $1,000 now. Like this guy, $2,300. That's insane. Yeah, it's got the Wolfgang case, it's in much better shape, but $2,300? I mean, you got a big nick there. Again, this is a $1,000 guitar all day long. They made a lot of these. Again, another one for $13. It's okay, but that's still pretty high. This is one of the USA ones, like one of the nice standard USA ones with the flame top, the nicer hardware, the nice pickups, the tone knob, the arch top, everything. $35 is still crazy. I think you'll see these drop down to about $2,000, maybe $15 if it's beat up. This is one of the really nice ones with bird's eye and Schalers. I mean, these are all the upgrades you paid to get the really nice USA Wolfgangs. Ooh, that's pretty cool. They painted the case. But yeah, I don't think these are gonna fetch, almost $4,000 for very long. I really want to find and show you guys one of the EXPs. Okay. This is starting a whole new conversation. Don't fall for stuff like this. These were the Sterling by Music Man AX3s. I actually had one of these for a long time. I bought it new for $200. They were a cheap Indonesian-made guitar. They made them with knockoff Floyds, or like a licensed trem. They also made the AX3s, which just had more of a 2-point style trem. People are saying, flame top. It's a veneer. And this is like a super sport setup. It's got the 5-way selector and the volume and tone in like a Telecaster format. This is not Eddie really at all besides the body shape. This guy asking $16 for 2 of these is absolutely insane. And the fact that he's using all the keywords to get people to click on this, it's like, come on, man. You're selling $200 guitars for $1,600. It's just not gonna happen. So, another one, and a good way to get into a good Wolfgang without spending a ton of money, is to get what's called the EXPs. I don't know if there's any online right now. They're called Wolfgang Special ESPs, so sometimes people just list them as specials and think they're the nicer ones. Let's see if I can find one. Here. I don't see one on Reverb right now. I was seeing a bunch of them. They look like this. I used to have this same guitar in this color. Flat top, Peavey trem, D-tuna, single volume, and a veneer top. These you used to be able to pick up for $300-400. They were the cheap ones. They were the Squires of the Wolfgangs. They're still good guitars. I mean, they're made in Korea, and Korea makes solid stuff. The amber ones always sold for a bit of a premium, but nothing crazy. You know, I never saw one of these selling Reverb over $400 or $500 until the past few months. Now people are asking, you know, $1,500. You know, these are not the USA ones. If you look on the back of the headstock, I don't know if I can find a picture real quick. There you go. The back of the headstock, the serial number, and the Eddie Van Halen signature is printed, not engraved. That's one of the key factors they use to tell apart the Korean from the USA. They had mini Grovers, you know, like I said, a little bit cheaper, but still pretty good. Peavey trim, it wasn't the best. They came stock with the D-Tuna. But yeah, the big way to tell these apart, the signature, and they were a flat top. So these are Korean guitars. I think these are always going to fetch a little bit of a premium now. I think you'll probably, when things settle down, pay $500 for one of these in good shape with the case because they came with hard shells. But the people asking $1,200, it's not gonna last for long. Now let's take a look at some Music Mans. These are of course my favorite Eddie Van Halen signature. These have always been the most expensive to get a hold of. That's just how it is. You know, they're USA, bird's eye neck and fingerboard, just super nice guitars. You know, these are always, I think, gonna be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. You know, there's a couple of these on Reverb for $12,000 right now. I don't think that's gonna last, but this guy asking $75. It's probably what you're gonna see, and I think these are gonna exponentially keep rising over the years. A lot of people think that these were mass-produced. They really didn't make a whole bunch of these ones. So I think these are always going to be a slight premium. Same with the Axis guitars. If you know me, I have an Axis. It's not really an Eddie Van Halen signature. It's what they made after he left the company. Those I think, you know, for the old ones, you're probably going to pay $1,500, $2,000 once things settle down, even though they don't technically have EVH's name attached to them. But yeah, the Music Mans are always going to fetch just a huge premium. I think they're going to keep going up. My advice would be if you have the money and you want one of these, you should buy one in the next, you know, year or so, because I think those ones are going to skyrocket. And like I said, same thing with the Axises. You know, I think it's just how it is. Another EVH guitar out there that has always been so dang expensive is the Charvel Art Series. These were only made for a few years. They're pretty much the same guitar as the Stripe series, except they have, you know, Floyd Rose 1000s instead of the EVH branded 1000, which is the same trim. But yeah, these are always gonna be probably $4,000 guitars. I think they'll probably keep rising over the years, not nearly as much as the Music Mans. Do keep in mind, these are all opinions. Just, I'm very knowledgeable of the EVH market, so I've been watching it and, you know, seeing what people are paying is very interesting. This one was posted at $5,150, which is, coincidentally enough, probably a fair price for one of these. It came with nice hard shell cases, you know, Floyd Rose trims, D-Tunas. You know, I think that you're just always going to pay a premium to have one of these. He played them for a while on tour. He actually would paint some of them and sign them, and then play them for a song or two, and then, you know, sold them, and I think they just shipped them to the customers probably after they put a clear coat on. If anyone actually knows the true story of how he did that, I'd be really curious. I know he painted them backstage and played them on stage, but these look like, no offense to Eddie, but his guitars were always kind of, you know, rough looking. That's what he did. You know, he worked with what he had. And these look very premium, so I assume they probably went back to the Charvel factory and had clear coats and some touch-ups done. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I would love to know the story on how this happened. Or if anybody had a video of Eddie painting a guitar, I would kill to see the process. So yeah, he signed these, and these, I don't think there's any way to know what they're gonna go for in the future. I think they're always gonna be, you know, one will be listed for $30,000, one will be listed for $100,000, depending on the paint job and what have you. I think they're always gonna be out of reach for most of us, but I do think that these are guitars that are just gonna completely hold their value and just skyrocket at times. You know, one last thing to go over is obviously Eddie Van Halen heavily endorsed Kramer back in the 80s with his 5150 guitar and his backup 1984 guitar. He heavily endorsed Kramer's, but to my knowledge, there was never a Eddie Van Halen signature that you bought a Kramer that was striped by Kramer with Eddie Van Halen's name on it. You know, it's just, you know, Eddie plays a custom Kramer we made for him. You should buy a Beretta. I think that's more or less how it was. But I think anything with the Kramer name on it is just going to be a bit of a premium, not too crazy. I mean, anything like this that is striped, someone did themselves, so it's actually, I think, going to degrade the value a little bit. But like, you can't buy a Kramer Beretta right now for, I think, under $1,500, and I think Eddie's name tied to that is probably the biggest reason. Yeah, you know, a Beretta 25, which is so crazy. Used to be able to buy a Beretta for $800. I mean, that was a few years ago. You could do it if you searched long enough, but now you can't buy like a white Kramer Beretta original for less than $1,500. You know, it's just how it is. I think all shred stuff's starting to skyrocket, but especially stuff with the Kramer name tied to it, because Eddie's name was tied to it. So that's just some of the Kramer models. I guess we'll kind of go back to the Fender EVH Wolfgangs too. So you have the specials. You know, people are posting the special stealths that are $1,000 guitar for, you know, $1,200, $1,500. I wouldn't pay that right now. You know, these are, you know, for shits and giggles. Let's go to a dealer and type in Wolfgang. The first ones that are going to pop up are going to be the specials. They're the most common sold. They have Floyd 1000 trems, Wolfgang pickups, and you see they're back ordered. They're not discontinued. So give it February, March, maybe April, you're going to be able to buy one of these again for $1,000. Don't pay a scalper $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. They don't have some rare gem. If you're going to pay the upcharge, get one of the cool ones that aren't going to be made again. Get a Charvel Art Series, get a Music Man, get one of the Peavey Wolfgangs. The Fender EVH stuff is going to go back down. I can't stress it enough. You know, people have sent me, you know, stuff like this and are like, well, hey, should I buy this? It's only $200 more than new. Yeah, but then you tack on shipping and don't account for the cosmetic damages it's going to have because it's a used guitar. You can buy a new one for so much less in a few months, and you might as well get that new guitar feeling at a new guitar price. Don't buy an old guitar for more than new guitar price. It doesn't make sense. You know, this guitar here is going to be worth $700 in 3 months, guaranteed. I'm very confident in that. You know, I was looking at getting a Stealth before everything happened, and I was talking to a guy in Reverb wanted $600 for his. Yeah, I should have bought it. I know, that's a video for another day. So it's just ridiculous that people are asking this kind of money for, you know, guitars that are gonna be made again. So I just kind of wanted to go over some models out there, show you the differences between all the models, because there are a lot of different Wolfgangs and Stripe series and such, and I'm fairly knowledgeable of them and very confident in that. So I just wanted to kind of show you my thoughts on their values if you're looking to get one of these guitars. You know, for the most part, for lack of better terms, let things die down and you're gonna be able to buy these for the same price you used to be able to buy them. You know, it's gonna be a minute, but especially the Fender stuff, oh my goodness, people trying to get, you know, $1,500 too for their 5150 heads made by Fender. It's a $1,000 head or a $900 head. Once those are produced again, those people are gonna have nothing to do but drop those prices back down. That's another thing too. I think a lot of people are hoarding this gear. There's a Reverb shop I'm not even gonna pull up because I get mad every time I see it, that just has stacks of EVH boxes, and they're selling like the Star guitar for $2,000. Pretty sure they clearanced those out for $700 in 2017. So those people are gonna have nothing else to do in a few months but just unload that gear. I think you're gonna see a giant influx of EVH gear hit the market come March or so. So that's kind of my thoughts on things going on. You guys are always more than welcome to email or comment with questions about EVH gear, and I'm more than happy to give you my input. Like I said, these are all opinions. Just figured I'd throw my 2 cents out there with how crazy the market is. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos. I kind of like the surfing Reverb and giving you guys my thoughts on things, especially EVH related. I know this is a really long video, so let me know if you like this or not, if I need to shorten it or keep it like this, or maybe do a live stream of it. I kind of like doing these kinds of videos, so just let me know what you think down below in the comments, guys. Alright, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, throw a thumbs up on this video, and any comments, drop them down below. See you guys later.